My beef this time around is patients or nurses or doctors while we're getting ready to operate on somebody who comment on my musical choice. They'll say like, who picks the music? It's terrible. I immediately get irritated. I get pissed off and I'm like, I'm going to fucking cut this guy's finger off. And that's the sew it back on just for the...
All right. And that's the surgeon.
And that's the surgeon wanting to listen to, you know, easy listening. And I want to listen to System of a Down and Led Zeppelin and AC/DC, you know, and they want to listen to country or gangster rap. We won't mention the surgeon who wants to listen to gangster rap, like smack my bitch up gangster rap.
Yeah.
I'll ask the questions. Episode 11 has now begun, all right, everybody.
Number 11.
Stick around for this barn burner of a show. We're down two normal experts. Roger's excited. I don't
know if they're normal. But...
Well, yeah, you can't. It's debatable whether they're normal. Brad and
experts.
OG Champ Keepers is out, and so is Ricky Coolbreeze Grassy. They have both descended into the next realm momentarily as light bodies. They're having gay sex as light bodies, and then they'll come back into their physical form, go back to being heterosexual experts.
I love that.
So, in the meantime,
what about Mike Big Dog Bauer? Is he?
Mike Big Dog Bauer has vanished.
He's dead.
Nobody knows.
Nobody just disappeared.
Where he is. All right. What's happened to him? Okay. Maybe we'll see him in the future, in the next life, or who knows?
All right.
We certainly enjoyed Big Dog Bauer. Yeah. There's some controversy, possibly some British spies have nabbed Big Dog and eradicated him for his anti-Britite comments.
Anti-Britite.
Making
him
work in a British hospital. Yes. So if you're new to the show, we ask questions here. I'll ask the questions here to my panel of experts, and we have a special guest, Justin, who also gets those questions, who has no idea what they're going to be. The experts do. We also discuss beefs and stories, so we'll get into meeting our experts for episode 11. To my left, we have Kevin Seadog Wilcox answering the who question.
I'm the who question.
There you are on the who question.
Glad to be back.
It's a dandy of a question. I'm sure you've handled it well.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then up next, we got RMFJ. Roger Motherfucker Jones is next to Kevin.
RMFJ.
Answering the what question. How you doing, Raj?
Good, good. What's happening?
Welcome back. Say hello to the world.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And
Happy Thanksgiving.
We're going to debut another expert, Scott Lee, MD Michaels, is in fact an expert. He is in fact a doctor. We have no medical questions this time around, so we'll see how he does. Yes, welcome, Scott.
Welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to have you.
It's good to be here. Thanks for inviting me. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Kind of a day late or 2 days late now.
Yeah, exactly. This is the reason, the main reason we're a little short on the show. We have family vacations.
You mean Mike has not just disappeared somewhere into the abyss?
I'll ask the questions, Roger. I don't know. He could have. Our special guest is back, Justin Red Dog McKnight. Justin, what happened to your puzzle, buddy? I thought you were a little further along than that.
I was at least 3/4 of the way, and we were prepping for Thanksgiving,
which was fantastic.
And, thank you. My wife prepared it all.
It was delicious. She did a great job.
You can't hear them.
The cook didn't prepare anything?
Job.
Did you guys go over there? It was good, huh?
Last questions. Yes, we went over there.
So, so as I was moving the table,
and Justin ruined his
puzzle. I thought
puzzle.
it was taped pretty well. We went to pop the legs down, and as you can see, it's like 1/4 of the way. So I'm pretty much done. Again. Sounds like I'm being punished.
You're going to be punished, and as a matter of fact, you're going to be punished by Ricky this time around. He was cool,
nice,
and the most expert this time around. He got the most votes.
Nice.
I need to bring the picture.
Fantastic.
So yes,
good job, Ricky.
Please bring the picture back next time. He will get the picture of knowledge. Side note: the man in the picture of knowledge is now the president of Holland.
Oh,
yes,
really?
He is.
With his pen up his nose and everything.
With his pen up his nose and everything.
Justin, check my pants.
Justin wants to show us his pants. Why not? Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah, last time you didn't get to see him, or maybe you did because you couldn't hear them.
Oh, same pants, huh?
Do you have stock in these companies?
So questions. Kevin wants to know if you have stock in this company.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
They actually send me stuff. Chef uniforms. Thank you.
Chef uniform.
Chefpants.com.
Chef.
I guess chefs like to
wear
funny pants.
Send them to me.
Whatever.
I will show them on your podcast, this podcast, if you send me pants.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and I will drink your High Life beer if you send me beer on this.
Those are interesting pants. I think I saw them in a nightmare somewhere.
Sockshoe had a little too much to drink, as you can see.
He looks like it. He looks pissed. Him and
still eating.
Him and Barnesy here was out partying, huh?
I had a little proper number 12.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Also, this episode, we're going to try something a little new because we're running a skeleton crew here. We're going to have our producer, Fernando Water Dragon Bernal, answer a question or two this time around. So, hello, Fernando. Say hi to the world.
Hello, world.
It's going to be a good show, everybody. Stick with us. You'll see. All right. So, first round, Scott, what we're going to do is we're going to get into what our beef is. We'll go one at a time. I'll say, what's your beef? I'll go first. I'll start us off. My beef this time around is patients or nurses or doctors while we're getting ready to operate on somebody who comment on my musical choice. They'll say like, who picks the music? It's terrible. I immediately get irritated. I get pissed off and I'm like, I'm going to fucking cut this guy's finger off.
And that's the
sew
doctor.
it back on just for the...
And that's the surgeon.
And that's the surgeon wanting to listen to, easy listening, and I want to listen to System of a Down and Led Zeppelin and AC/DC, and they want to listen to country or gangster rap. We won't mention the surgeon who wants to listen to gangster rap, like smack my bitch up gangster rap.
Yeah, that was rough.
I love that.
I don't get offended, and I'm offended at some of that shit that's on the radio, man. Some of the stuff that this guy plays is... As
a side note, we had a black CRNA student in that day, if the one you were thinking about.
Yeah.
And he, when everybody moved out, he's like, I'm black and I'm actually offended by this.
He started blushing.
He was, it was. But yeah, I get that. I get that beef.
I let the nurses pick. So they can pick whatever they want, and usually I give them a suggestion.
Yeah.
And if I don't like what they're playing, I'll say, please change that.
Yeah. Normally the surgeons are pretty cool with it. They're like, I try to put in some Beatles and some easy listening, a little ELO, something in there that can balance it out so it's not all like...
You don't probably want,
I would like to listen to metal
gangster rap or
exactly. That's
some
worse
really
than metal,
aggressive
in my
music
opinion.
As you're cutting into people's flesh. I think that's aggressive enough.
No, I agree. It's about the patient.
It could be.
If you're walking in on
metal's a good choice.
MF and
you don't want to hear that. But it's funny. Like I'll tell people, like they ask me, they know what I do, and they're like, "What do you guys listen to music in surgery?" And I'm like, "You have no idea." I'm like, "Yes, we do." Anyways, that was my beef. It's a stupid beef.
It wasn't bad.
Count it.
That's not bad. I like it.
Kevin, what's your beef?
Mine might be a little long-winded, but it has to do with wrong text messages. And lately, I don't know if this has happened to anybody else, but I'm getting text messages from just somebody that starts off, but they're clever. And they start off with something like, hey,
Kevin,
we're on the way to the restaurant. Are you coming? And so I always hit back with, who's this? And bottom line is every single one of them ends up being, quote unquote, a hot young Chinese woman that ends up trying to scam you into getting into cryptocurrency.
Why is she Chinese? Did she say hello or something?
No,
it's
text?
I think it means Asian.
Whenever because
let's get our racism straight.
I have spoken to them. I have asked them questions before, and they're like alys, "Oh, I'm from China, or I'm from Sichuan, or
so
whatever."
Those phishing texts work.
They must
get on him.
They
work on Kevin.
I keep getting caught. I don't know how it happens, but all you got to do is say, "I'm not into crypto," and then they stop.
Too many years at sea for you, my friend.
Yes.
Kevin 6 months at a time.
Yeah,
6 months at a time. Well,
Well, that was 2006 when I was done with the sea time. But
Kevin is the saltiest dog.
Got some salt, that's for sure. But that's my beef. Wrong testament. I don't get it. I don't know why.
Sprinkle.
Yeah. All right. I'll count it. I don't want cryptocurrency from the Chinese either.
Well, yeah.
That's all.
It's just a scam. I mean, I think cryptocurrency is bullshit anyway. That's my opinion. But
that's an expert opinion from Kevin.
Absolutely.
Cryptocurrency is in fact bullshit.
Crap. Yeah.
RMFJ, what makes you RMFJ number 10? What's your beef?
Fucking self-checkout guy monitor.
Okay, the monitor guy.
Yeah.
All right. Another grocery store beef.
Yeah, exactly. So you ever go to self-checkout and you start putting your stuff out, you're checking out, and the guy's looking at you.
He's going to steal something.
Yeah, is he stealing something? or is he doing it wrong?
Why is he looking at your...
scanning it wrong, and then you get into a situation where you need the guy's help.
Oops. Aren't you doing their job to begin with?
Yeah.
What kind of cucumber is this?
Yes, exactly.
Or the KY won't
never
stand.
do those because I don't actually work at those grocery stores.
So that's where I'm going.
Hello.
With this. Yeah. So,
okay.
So the guy comes over. He's like, "No, this is the way you do it." I'm like, "Motherfucker, I don't work here, so I'll do any way I want. Right? You're not my boss. And if I did work here, I'd be your boss, bitch."
There you go.
That's right.
I give myself a discount.
You know what I have a problem with those things is people who have a cartload of shit and everything is taken. All the aisles are taken and they got a cartload of shit and they could just wait because they've already got a cartload of shit. So they might as well wait a little bit further for everybody else to finish. But they want to do the self-checkout and they only got the little small counter to put stuff on. So it takes them 3 times as long to do it themselves.
But I'm that guy.
Kevin or Roger.
I take my whole cartload of shit to the self-checkout.
Okay.
I don't care.
All right. Well, you pissed me off, Roger.
Well,
well.
Okay,
Roger's on the beef.
Maybe I need to tell that beef again because I don't think you guys got the self-checkout. You guys...
It was the monitor that you're talking about.
Yeah.
The guy who's got an immediate power trip all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's
and
like he's looking at he's like, these
people don't know what
the
I'm the
4
pro
registers, and he's like, is that guy doing it right, or is he stealing something? And
he doesn't know that you're an expert yet. Soon he'll be like, oh, that's RMFJ. He knows what he's doing.
It's a power trip thing.
All right.
I think that you should get a discount if you check out your own stuff.
I agree.
Because you're working there.
Yeah.
It's like,
okay.
Yeah.
Free labor for yourself.
Absolutely.
If I'm clocked in,
It's an
I'm doing it my
concept. Are you listening, Winn-Dixie and Publix? We want something for checking our shit out on our own.
Right.
And if you return your shopping cart. We discussed that in this link here last episode. Return your shit. That's another beef.
Return your shit.
Thanks, Raj. Scott, what is your beef? Debut your beef with the world.
My beef is barbers.
All
I
right.
am a bald man. Okay. And I actually like the barber experience. You've all had a barber experience growing up.
Yes.
I used to go to this Puerto Rican guy called Jose, and he was awesome.
No way, Jose.
He'd come in, he'd come in, you know, you get your hair massaged, the scalp massage, and the talc, the whole treatment. And now, no hair, can't go to the barber anymore. So, you know, I'm feeling kind of bad about this. And I'm just thinking, why can't I just roll up that they could still give you the scalp massage? They could still come in and, you know, you could still do something with the dome.
Maybe polish it or something.
like it.
I like it.
I'm thinking just growing a beard just so that way I could go in and just say, hey, just the bottom. You know,
Right.
the bottom.
Just need a trim.
You like the
So-
grooming and the attention and the social experience and
I like it. I like the whole experience of sitting down in the chair and relaxing and kind of, you know, shooting the shit with the guys like we do here.
yeah.
Dude,
And,
You go to a real
you read
barber?
a paper.
see
Yeah,
a-
real barber.
Real
So,
barber.
you know, my uncle actually was a barber. Okay.
Okay.
And he's from the old country. He's from Rome originally. His name is Juan. His first name, great Italian name.
Yeah.
But his last name's Savini.
Once
okay?
you've seen one, you've seen one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a joke. Never mind.
So he used to always act like he's connected. This was my other beef with barbers in general. And I used to go, Warren, you're not connected, okay? You're not in the mob. So I used to call him the Don of Dues. So that was a beef I had with him
Don of
already.
Dues.
The Don of Dues.
Nice.
So that's kind of my beef. I'd like to, you know, get a nice head massage and read the paper in the barber's chair.
You want to come up with like a new service for bald men that's barberish related.
Yeah, I think it's a new business
Maybe we
model.
can. Maybe we're onto something here.
Yeah, barbers for bald men.
You get a shot of whiskey. You can have a cigar.
You get a shave.
A chick with big tits massages your head.
Does the man
Lotions
they
it or
even
something.
they lotion up your hands, massage the hands.
You're onto something here, Scott.
It's an experience.
Okay. This is
Sometimes
good.
they pay extra
don't
for
think
that.
It's a
Brand new
manly
expertise.
experience.
Yeah, I've never been to a real barber that does that.
No.
I'm Supercuts
With
guy.
the leather strap and the
Yeah,
the whole
no, I'd
thing.
love to see
He
that.
knows about leather strap.
What's the new barber place for men that they're gearing it towards? That all the chicks cut
Sport-
hair,
sport
clips.
clips?
Sport
I think
clips,
it is.
Or
yeah.
is there another one?
I think that's the one I'm talking about.
No, there's like mechanics or...
Oh, I didn't know that.
Head job.
Head job.
No, that's the new bald place.
That's
Nice.
the name of it, everyone. Our
ding.
new patented bald man barbershop is called Roger. All right,
I
next.
forgot. Head shop.
Head job.
Head job.
Oh, head job. Head
The
job.
correct answer was head job, everybody.
I remember head shops when I was a kid. Used to go in there and buy a bong, and there it was illegal. You guys remember that?
Yeah, and you couldn't call them bongs.
No,
you
no,
had to
no,
be like,
smoking
do you have the
device or-
water
yeah, yeah,
purifier pipe? And you said bong. They're like, out of the store, kid.
Yeah, no, they still have them.
Head shops or bongs?
Yeah.
But now everything's good to go. It's like you can say, yes, this is a bong. You can use it as a bong.
Right.
Or a medicinal purposes device, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm too old.
Yeah.
Fernando, can you share a beef with us, with the world? Oh. I'm sure he can.
Karens.
Karens, that's a great topic for beefing.
But the ones that I'm really pissed off about is this chicks that 25, 30, 40 years ago got laid by some famous musician.
Oh?
And they were happy back then.
Okay.
But no. 35 years later, they begin to tell their girlfriend, you know what? I went to a concert with Aerosmith a long time ago. And I got it on
Tyler
with
doesn't recognize
Steve.
me.
I got it on with Steve. You did, girl? Yeah. How was it? Oh, his tongue. Oh, my God, girl. Well, did he actually do it? Yeah. And how old were you? I was 17. And how old was he? Oh, he was around in his mid-20s, I guess. Oh, girl. What do you mean? Well, that's statutory rape.
Oh,
He fucked you up.
I see where you're going.
Huh? What do you mean? Girl, there's money. Come out. And they do that shit.
Is this like a hashtag
gotten
Me
kinda
Too kind of
creepy.
beef?
It's kind of a me
Kind
too.
of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know. And the other thing is the school teachers, the female school teachers that are screwing this
Where
young
were
guy.
they when I was going to school?
Exactly.
Not sure I want to be part of this podcast.
Roger, you know it's true.
This is going to an unusual kind of
Agreed.
twist here, but
Miss
that's okay.
Shantakitis. The good beef, okay.
That is a good
I
beef.
see it,
That's
right?
my beef, okay?
All right, that
You hear
counts.
that?
This is a producer expert beef. Very good.
Okay,
Thank
no,
you,
no.
Fernando.
I'm going to pick up on
You
this
gonna go
beef.
run with this one?
Well, so if it's a lady high school teacher, but if it's a male high school teacher,
That's
man,
jail time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well, the
in
women
my
are getting-
head,
One's a hero, one's a creep.
Exactly. But in my head, I agree with that. I'm like, dude, you can.
Yeah.
But
the logic
on the other
behind
side of
the
me, it's kind of
statutory rape laws.
it's
would
kind
tell
of
you, yeah, that's
fantasy, you know, high school teacher that, you know, I remember Mrs. Williams, man. I had a thing for it.
awful. Thanks to you, Mrs. Robinson. That's
Exactly.
Young teacher, the subject
Okay, there you
that's
go.
the thing.
school
That's
girls'
right. That's what that's about.
fantasy.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, let's go question round with Kevin Seadog Wilcox starting out. All right, we're going to read your lips. So answer this question. Who would you most like to take to dinner?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah, you got one shot. Who are you going to take? Sock shoe?
Himself.
Yourself? Who would you most like to take to dinner? Tell us. Your wife. That's a good answer.
Nice job.
All right.
Good
Nice
answer.
job.
We'll
Good
take
answer.
it. Smart answer. She
Yeah.
is in the
Yeah.
room,
Good job.
everybody.
She is listening.
So, good job. This is how she's going to let you keep doing this stupid show. All right. So, Kevin, tell us who you would
So,
like
you
to
know,
take to dinner.
I-
Anybody in the world, history.
Live or dead?
Alive or dead. See,
Oh,
you didn't
any-
Great
specify it.
question.
So,
That's a tough one.
It's all in the interpretation of the question. That's
So-
up to you.
well, I was thinking about, past presidents like Lincoln or something like that. I was
Yeah.
also thinking about musicians like Stevie Ray
Right.
or Jimi Hendrix. I
Sure.
was thinking about,
Keith Moon, you probably wouldn't make it back alive.
yeah, that'd be a rough one. Supermodels and things like that. But actually, the three guys that I would love to take to dinner would be my dad,
Okay.
his brother, my Uncle Chuck, and their father, my Grandpa Lewis.
Okay. So this would be a one combined three people.
Right,
dinner.
so it'd be four of
All right,
us.
4 of you. All right.
You know, right? And the reason being is that all four of us have military experience.
Okay.
My grandfather, he was a colonel in the Army. He retired as a engineer.
Okay.
He was in World War II.
Wow.
And he may have hit Korea. I don't know. I don't think he did. And my uncle and my grandfather passed away in somewhere around 1980 of esophageal cancer. And then my uncle, my dad's brother, my
Yeah.
Uncle Chuck, he was as my dad told me, he said his bags were packed. He was going to Canada because he actually ended up in Vietnam. But he did not want to have anything to do with it. And probably because of the history of my family and how military we are, I probably wouldn't know him even if he left.
Okay.
But he was killed in Vietnam, so he changed his life around.
Wow.
And decided to join the Army, became a medic, and was killed on a patrol in 1970 on Mother's Day.
Damn.
Of all days. So I was 5 years old. And then my dad, he's ex-Army and Air Force. And he actually volunteered for Vietnam, but then they said, "Nah, you've got 2 young kids and a wife. You're not going anywhere." So back in those days, so hopefully pre-dementia we would have him with us because he's getting kind of sick and stuff. So those are the people that I'd want to have around my table.
That'd be a nice dinner. That's a great answer.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, because I was thinking, along the line, somebody would be like, "Oh yeah, Teddy Roosevelt. I'd like to have dinner with him, or Abe Lincoln,
Cindy
or
Crawford, or something."
Yeah.
But,
all right.
Yeah, Genghis Khan. Even
Yeah.
All right. Good answer.
Yeah, I thought a lot about
Crazy.
that, but I was like, I'd like to have
Nero
these 2 guys.
Right. How would you have dinner with Nero? What would you talk about?
I don't know.
Why did you think
wouldn't
of
fiddle.
flooding the Colosseum? That was psychotically genius. Why would you? Staging naval battles? Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I had an answer to that question.
Do
I
you?
hate to interject.
You can chime in anytime.
Oh, so dinner, Gandhi. He's not going to eat too much.
He's a cheap date. That's
It's a cheap date. Yeah.
Just call these out when you know them, Scott. Don't hold them back.
I'm just saying that.
you're right.
Scott's saving the show,
Gandhi
man.
would be interesting. You know.
Yes.
You
Probably
also,
couldn't understand too
Couple
much
of
of what he was
grapes
saying.
and- Be good.
he's not going to eat a whole lot, and you're probably going to find out really how to conduct yourself in a way that's probably not going to offend anybody, since everybody's so easily offended nowadays.
Sure.
So I'm with Gandhi.
He's not going to
That'd
order
be
the
great.
fucking lobster or steak
No,
or anything.
no.
He's getting fucking cereal or
A couple of grapes or
a couple of
something.
grapes.
he
Yeah.
might not be eating anything that day. You never know. I was thinking the other one would be Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee's cool.
Because Bruce Lee is, gone. He's, a lot of people don't know this about him, but he was a fantastic philosopher. He wrote a nice book on philosophy, and I really enjoyed it.
You're inspired by Bruce Lee.
He's definitely an inspiration for a whole generation.
I picked
of
your
martial
nickname
artists.
based on because I know you like martial arts.
And
so you're Scott Lee,
I'm
as in
Scott
Bruce
Lee.
Lee. You're Scott Lee, MD.
I thought it was because my wife was Chinese, you see. So I'm bringing the Chinese faction.
I'm not that racist, but I see that.
So you can make fun of them if you're married to one of them, is my...
Okay, that's your rule?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so that's how I look at it. But yeah, Bruce Lee, definitely fantastic philosophies. And, the things that we know that he said, that everybody knows, be like water. There's deep meaning to that. It's not just like...
Empty your glass.
Yeah, empty your glass, your teacup. So if the teacup is full, okay, and you try to pour more tea in it, it overflows. That's like emptying your mind so that way you can receive new information. Now, on this particular show, nobody's receiving any information.
Or delivering
so,
any.
Exactly.
So basically,
Especially this
it doesn't
episode.
matter if your teacup's full or empty at this particular one. But great
Just
philosophy.
put a little
That's
sugar
right.
in it.
Yes.
That sand can't slip through that thing fast enough. On this one.
Amen
It's
to
like,
that,
oh,
brother.
Okay.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
good.
that was
actually-
it.
yeah,
That was it.
Scott, I think you may have saved the show. Justin
I
is
don't know
ruining it.
about that.
So,
What is Justin doing
Can you
over there?
save the show? I'll ask the questions. We don't know what Justin is doing over
He's saying,
there.
cut me.
He's like, I
cut-
quit. He's
I
like,
had gas.
fuck this. This is
I
the
have
stupidest
gas.
idea we ever had.
I have a beef out of barber too.
You
I'm reading.
fagolacombeige.
Every time I look at him, I just think of a rectum.
He's speaking Biden.
An Audi?
Okay, I don't see it, but all right, Roger, whatever.
I'm teasing you, brother.
A 50-piece puzzle rectum is what Roger sees when he sees my brother.
But there is a gigundous image of Justin on the screen right now. So.
I like that. I think we should keep it like that.
Yeah,
He's getting punished. I don't know why.
This
He just
may-
knocked the puzzle off the table.
This may be actually better that
Yeah.
he can't speak.
There we go.
He's
We've
like
debated
We've
this.
had
he's
this
like-
conversation
this
from
conversation,
episode
Scott.
1. He wasn't able to speak.
He's like
Yeah.
the Harpo of the show.
Yes.
Yes.
He is the silent relief. That's not comedic.
Yeah.
So moving on, the next question. What are you most proud of? Justin, what are you most proud of? You better say your daughter or else, Oh,
there
excellent
she
job.
is.
She's a great kid.
Hi,
by the
Libby.
way. Hey, Libby. Very talented. She's playing the clarinet very well these days.
It was the saxophone.
Yeah, but it's clarinet now. It was the saxophone.
Oh,
Thank
now
you
she's
for
playing
pointing that.
clarinet?
Now she plays clarinet.
So she's dual instrument. qualified.
We have a saxophonist in our midst. Producer Fernando plays the saxophone.
Oh, wait.
Tenor saxophone.
Roger, what are you most proud of?
Oh, okay. So this was my question. What am I most proud of?
I'll ask questions. What are you most proud of?
So I was going to say my time in EMS, because I know there's a couple people on Earth that, because of me,
are still here.
Still here, yeah.
Nice.
And I was going to say my son, of course. Proud of my son. Yeah. My marriage, proud of my marriage, all that stuff. I was taking a walk on Thanksgiving, walking over one of the beach walkways.
All right.
And I don't know if they were South American or Indian. About 6 people coming at me as I'm walking, doing my beach walk. And each one of them, as they walk by me, happy Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, happy, like they had practiced it.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they're happy to be, oh, okay, good. I get to tell us that. Yeah.
Nice.
So, dude, I'm proud to be an American. I mean, are you kidding me? We live in the greatest country.
There is no other Thanksgiving.
That's right.
With the greatest freedoms.
That's
right.
And
we take it for granted.
We sure should do.
I mean, there are some marginalized people, and there's some, we're fucked up.
Sure, nobody's perfect.
Yeah, but
this is the best we've got it so far.
God, this is the greatest country, and I'm so proud that, dude, America.
That's great.
That's it.
Thanks, Mr. Greenwood.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to come here.
I could be like, I'm so proud of my son who's doing this. Yeah. And, I'm so proud of saving lives, and I'm a nurse, and no.
Right.
Dude, no.
There is no Russian dream.
How many people are leaving this country to go anywhere else?
Tell me what's your favorite Canadian car?
Exactly.
All right.
Dude, how would you like to
When did the Chinese land on the moon?
Yeah. How would you like to live in some...
A couple of months ago.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Did they start?
Probably.
They crash landed, but they landed.
Count it.
If you lived in some shithole country, living in some shack with no plumbing, no safe water, I'd risk everything to come here, just like they do. Okay. I'm just saying, if you got nothing to lose, come on.
Yeah.
Try it.
And if you can contribute, we'll look after you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll make this place amazing.
I get it. I get why there's so many people trying to come over. I get it. Come on, bring them.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You ever driven
if
through
you can
Kansas?
make it, whatever the...
Nobody lives in Kansas.
Yeah, whatever the rules are, whatever the laws are, if you can avoid them, if you can break them.
Do it legally.
If you can do it legally.
Absolutely.
Preferably.
Make it illegal.
All right. Nice. Moving on.
I like that.
So this question is going to be the debut question for Scott Lee, MD Michaels. Justin, we can hear you now, so let's hear this question. When will the people of Mars declare war on the people of Earth?
Wow.
You know it's inevitable,
I think that
right?
Will happen. Yeah, I think that is going to happen probably. I'm going to go with the year 2051. Yeah, there will be a small, little peanut-size
colony
of Martians. They're all this tiny.
Marvin?
Oh.
And
they've been living there the whole time? They live there now?
They have been, yeah.
And they're currently, you're saying they're currently planning a strategy to eradicate and take over the people of Earth.
Hey, Kevin.
That is correct.
Now, but it's not going to take until 2051 to pull it off.
December 1st, 2051.
Okay, that sounded expert. Scott Lee, MD, you're the expert.
Sounded like a very specific date, but he's wrong.
Okay, when will the people of Mars declare war?
This has already occurred, and I have empirical proof.
Son of a bitch. It happened already.
It has happened. It's now in the making, and I have empirical proof. One word. Well, 2 words, actually. Elon Musk.
All right.
Okay. He does look like a Mars.
You think AI... That's not from this planet. Come on. Okay. Really?
He might be AI.
And you're saying Elon Musk is a Martian?
Robotic.
I'm saying he is a Martian.
Son of a bitch.
You know how I know this?
Who says we don't give out information here?
You know how I know this?
No.
Scott, do you go to my barber?
Wait, no.
I'll ask the questions.
I want to know how you know this.
Because I am one of his brethren.
You're a fellow Martian?
My wife thinks so.
Son of a bitch.
I'm not really a Martian, but my wife thinks I'm a Martian. She says, you look a little like you might not be from this planet.
Oh.
And that reminds me of the barber story that he's getting back to with the baldness. So I'm sitting in the chair at the barber, and, this one I had here. And I could reminisce. And I'm looking at these pictures, and they have all these pictures of these male models with great dues. And I'm like, hey, could you make me look like that? And the guy goes, I want you to look at that picture. That's a male model.
Yeah.
Now look at you.
Yeah, right.
He goes,
I'm not a miracle worker.
He says,
Were you
these
fucking Brad
are
Pitt?
he says, these are only hands, they're not magic wands.
Yeah.
So that was my, that kind of thing.
Well, I need a magician, asshole.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway, I digress.
I was going to ask you to shake that hourglass.
AI, climate change is not something that is man-made. It is Martian-made.
Martian-made.
Because there
Elon
was
Musk
you're saying that there was an atmosphere on Mars at some point, and
Absolutely.
and it's just deteriorated to the point of nothingness.
Yes, and they, we have a plan.
They need to turn that machine back
And
on.
then if I talk to you about the plan,
I agree.
The CIA listens to this show.
We would have to vaporize you.
Wow. Scott may, in fact, work for the CIA. We don't know
You never know.
a whole lot about Scott Lee,
possible.
MD.
Oh.
So stay tuned, everybody.
I will keep the bicycle stories to myself.
That's right. So a couple of our heavy hitters are out, as previously discussed. So I went ahead and asked Fernando one of the questions this time around.
Awesome.
Maybe Justin knows. Justin, where is the lost city of El Dorado? Also known as
I
the
actually
City
know
of
the
Gold.
answer to this.
Let the world know so people can start going to look.
Yeah.
Venezuela.
Venezuela. Where in Venezuela?
That's a good question. That's
this-
all I got.
Thought he was going to say
Do you
he's not
think-
allowed to tell.
how
The
many-
Northeast Coast.
How many think Justin could point to the country of Venezuela on a map without reading the names?
I think he can do it.
I think he can do it. Do you think he could do it? What countries border? Nice. What countries border Venezuela?
Oh. Do you know?
Pass.
Chile.
No. I'm going.
Chile.
Chile's probably way off.
No. I'm going Haiti.
Peru.
And,
Haiti's an
Haiti's
island.
an island, brother.
Haiti and
Haiti
Dominican
borders
Republic.
Dominican Republic.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an island.
Let's go Honduras.
How about
That would be
South
the
American
other
countries?
Coast.
Okay. No.
Now, Fernando,
Fernando could.
Brazil.
let's
Fernando,
go to the expert
Let's go to the expert.
of South America and everything South American.
Fernando
Where
is a
is-
South American.
Latin master.
If anybody can tell us where the lost city of gold is, it's Fernando. If he so chooses.
First of all, Colombia and Brazil border
I got one.
Venezuela.
Kaboom.
Oh,
I got one.
Thank you for the clarification, sir.
Number two, the Golden is a mythical location
Oh.
somewhere in the Americas.
Oh.
Wow.
It is thought, however, that this really took place in Colombia.
Aha.
There was an Indian chief named Zipa, the Golden Man. And that's where the legend comes from. Actually cover his body with gold.
I heard about that.
Wow.
I love
However, as time moves forward, fast forward to 2023, the golden has taken a different meaning.
Okay.
And it actually has to do with individuals that we consider to be gold diggers.
Gold diggers, really?
And all this time, I was under the impression that it had something to do with cocaine.
Okay.
that. I was getting there too.
The lost city of
Nice.
gold had something to do,
Clarinet.
or El Dorado?
Colombia,
Play
cocaine.
the clarinet.
So it's now the
Yeah.
lost city of gold diggers?
Yeah, is it a lost city of gold diggers?
Oh, gold
Play Hot
diggers.
Cross
Well,
Buns.
I think one got out because I
I
think
know
I
a
know.
couple gold diggers.
Las Vegas? L.A.?
Las Vegas, anywhere where
There's so many
the
sluts in Las
female
Vegas.
sniff
Yeah.
can smell gold.
Oh, Miami.
A guy
Miami's a good
driving
answer.
a nice
Miami.
Audi.
Okay.
Huh?
You see these gold...
Fernando's
Who has
got a
an
thing going here.
airplane?
I don't, the whole Steven Tyler 17, 20.
resemble that
the groupie theme?
I think Fernando's been burned by some young
Gold
girl in the
Maybe
past.
we're
gold
uncovering...
digging
Aha.
He got burned.
We're uncovering some deep-seated trauma.
Yeah, why do you think I'm so fucking broke?
All these women Fernando
these-
met has just
All these
drained him.
gold digging
Fucking
groupies.
gold diggers.
Again, I hate to say it, but we all know why divorce is so expensive. Because it's worth it.
It's cheaper to keep her.
Right.
Cheaper to keep her. Expert advice right here at IATQ.
Yeah. All right.
To keep
So
her.
that's my answer to
Thank you.
golden.
Well, thank you, producer Fernando.
My pleasure, as always.
Very nice. Way to stand in. All right, so that's going to bring us to our final round. Our last round is going to be
Can't dream fast enough.
No, we're not doing dreams anymore. Okay. I did like to dream round. We're going to do stories.
I want to tell you my beef.
All right, that's fine. Go, beef. What's your beef, Justin? Hear me. Make
the
it
fact
good.
that you have to have 15 different freaking platforms to watch whatever you want to watch on TV. You gotta have YouTube, Disney Plus, you gotta have Hulu, you gotta have ESPN,
Amazon Plus, Prime, whatever.
Yeah, dude, it's stupid.
It is stupid.
As an expert, I'll give you the solution to that problem.
Oh.
Stop watching TV. Read a book.
Deep.
I like it.
Deep expert.
Yes.
That is actually
Thank you very
quality
much.
advice.
Quality
Read a book,
advice.
See, you're proving us to be liars. You said there's no good information that comes from the show. That was expert shit right there. Boom. I'm glad
Get off the internet.
Better bang, better boom.
Scott may be a little too sophisticated for this bunch.
Scott, I said previously, is an actual expert professionally. So, yeah, we might be a little outclassed.
It's all right.
I fit right in. Trust me.
Okay.
No one's watching anyway.
Yeah.
Everybody's tuned out.
We're just having a good time.
Let's see. We got one viewer is still, somebody in Podunk, Arkansas is still watching us right now. Thank you, Podunk,
We Woke,
Arkansas.
Oklahoma.
I love
We
that.
Woke watches as well.
Hi, honey.
All right, my story. Story round.
Story round.
My story is when I summited Mount Kilimanjaro.
Nice.
So my wife and I, when we first got together, I think we were a year together already. We went to Tanzania. Yeah.
Tanzania.
And summited the world's largest freestanding mountain, Mount Kilimanjaro. And it was quite the grueling trek. It took us 7 days and 6 nights to summit this fucking thing.
Wow.
And it plays mind games with you. They call it the Four Seasons Mountain because you go through summer, you go through spring, you go through winter, you go through fall as you go up.
Oh, shit.
And so, like, day 2, you can see the summit. Like, you're like, oh, it's just right there. That's cool. You know, next couple days we'll probably get there. Maybe we'll get there early. For the rest of the trip, you see the top of this fucking mountain, and you're like, it's just right there. We're going to get to it eventually, and it never gets closer.
It's like the Las Vegas Strip. The MGM's
It's
right
insane.
there, honey. Let's go.
And then one morning,
Mobley, tell me a story.
we went up to something called the Breakfast Wall. So this is probably 1,500 feet of just boulders and rock and this little goat trail going up to the top of this thing. And we asked the guy, why is this thing called the Breakfast Wall? And he's like, well, we have breakfast. We hike up to the top, and then we vomit our breakfast.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, this sounds like a great vacation. It's like, we signed on for this shit. And we're already exhausted, freezing, wet. So we wake up. It had snowed the night before. There's snow everywhere. And the porters are truly remarkable people. These are like endurance athlete type people. And they carry your like 150-pound pack. So you'll wake up. You'll have breakfast. They'll say, okay, let's go on the hike. You get your little backpack together, your day pack, and you take off. They pack up everything into packs and take off and set up. They pass you on the trail, and they set up your shit at the next point, and you just sit down and eat, and it's great.
Oh,
Kilibound was the name of the group, so I'd like to plug them. Very good group. They're right here in St. Augustine, and they'll set you up. If you want to go climb Mount Kilimanjaro, you can. And so
I want to.
Yeah, so we went with these 2 guys who did editing for Hollywood. They like edited movies. One guy's name was Zach. The other guy's name was Aldi. So Zach and Aldi, if you're watching for whatever reason, it was fun, guys.
Zach and Aldi.
And so Roger doesn't think they are, but they will one day, Roger.
10 I hope so.
10 years from
now. I hope Zach and Aldi are. I hope they're rewatching
good
it.
dudes. So Aldi was a smoker. So at the beginning of the trail, he's like wanting to show that it's not going to affect him. So he's always ahead. He's like, come on, keep up, keep up. Well, the last day, they wake you up in the middle of the night so you can summit that day. So you summit in the morning as the sun is coming up. And so we wake up and we're hiking, and it's this like lava flow, this old ancient lava flow you hike up. And it's like almost switchbacks. And you look up and you're like, man, the stars are bright tonight. And then the stars all start moving. And you're like, shit, that's everybody's
on the mountain.
Those are people's headlights.
Oh, man.
And it's as far as you can see. And you're like, shit, if I get right there, I'm going to be pretty close. And then you get right there and you look up again and it's nothing but fucking headlights. And you're like, God, I'm never going to get there.
Oh, my
and then
gosh.
finally you get there as the sun's coming up and you look down on the sun rising and it's the trippiest shit.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And it's freezing cold and you're like, one step. I thought we had to resuscitate Aldi. Because he's like not moving at all because he's a smoker and he's just like having the toughest time moving half an inch an hour. And so we finally get up there. You get the plaque. You've summited Mount Kilimanjaro. You take your picture. You get right back down. You go down 10,000 feet that day.
Nice.
And so it was a hell of a trip.
Yeah, best worst trip ever.
It really was.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole time you're like, just get there, and each day you have to push yourself a little harder and a little harder. And it's grueling.
So where are you defecating? I mean, just anywhere you drop trow or?
I'll ask questions.
Right on the
they brought a tent that has a little chemical toilet.
Shit tent? Okay.
The shit tent.
Shit tent.
And so there's a poor guy whose job it is to carry the shit tent and clean the shit tent.
Oh, man.
So I gave this guy money. I gave him my gloves. I gave him socks and shoes. I'm like, dude, you're the hero of the trip, man. So,
you're the shit man.
Dude, I don't know if I could do it. There's Roger going to the shit tent.
Yeah, everybody knows what you... And then you're in there for an hour. And no. Something's wrong with Roger.
Yeah, I'd be plugged up for like 3 days. No.
Or they have huts where you can squat and shit. And it's a mountain of shit in that thing. And that's the thing. It's like an ant trail of people constantly all the time until you get to the top. So it's a little bit like Disney-ish.
Yeah,
and one guy's up there, he's got no shirt on. It's fucking hailing. It's snowing. And he's like, yeah,
do you poop at the top?
Yeah.
And our guide's like, that guy's going to be dead by morning.
Do you poop at the top?
Do you poop at the top? I did not, but you can.
I did see a picture
recommended?
I'll ask the question. Shut up. What?
I did see a picture, something like that, of Everest. When it's season, they've got a picture from, I don't know how far it is from the
people
exactly.
People are just stacked up, just sitting there waiting for the next guy to get his picture at the top of the world and then walk off.
Yeah.
And it's like there's like a half mile of you right next to somebody in line.
Right.
I was like, nah, it's kind of touristy now. It's not as what it used to be.
Yeah, it was still kind of fun. I mean, we had a good time.
I'm sure
it was grueling, but we were glad we did it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Kevin, what's your story?
My story's about what I did last night.
Oh shit!
I went to
R rating.
Now this is actually interesting. Because I've never seen this before. Because I've been to concerts with you guys before, and I went to a concert last night at Daly's Place, my first time, and I saw 3 bands, and the differences between the bands were amazing. The first band was called Saint Asonia, which actually means tone deaf. I had to look that up.
So they were like a thrash metal band, or
they're not thrash, but they're the lead singer of 3 Days Grace.
Okay.
The lead guitarist of Stained, so they're a super group.
I gotcha.
They played like 6 songs. And then this band came out called Skillet. And Skillet was pretty hard. Female drummer and a female rhythm guitarist. And the drummer is actually like part of the singing thing. So she'll come off the drums every once in a while and she'll sing with the lead singer.
Okay.
They're a Christian rock band.
All right.
I didn't know anything about that, and
hallelujah.
So I'm here at a metal show, which I thought was a metal show, and the headliner was Theory of a Dead Man, and they have Bad Girlfriend's one of their songs about a stripper and things like that. And the weirdest thing I saw about this is Skillet probably played the longest, but the strangest thing I saw about this was after Skillet was done, about a third of the place emptied out.
I hear they can really sizzle.
They did.
Okay.
And they were. But I couldn't believe that a good third of the place emptied out.
Was just there for Skillet.
Must have been just them.
Well, it was the religious. It was the religious message.
Didn't you tell me that's the band you really wanted to see?
Well, I did want to see.
But you hung around.
I've heard them before, but I'd never downloaded any music. I've got Theory of a Dead Man stuff, and they put on a great show, but they only played for like an hour. Skillet played for like an hour and a half, or almost an hour 45 minutes, and they knocked it, they crushed it. But there was a row of us, people sitting in our row, probably about 20 seats full, and by the time Theory of a Dead Man started, there was 5 of us.
Wow!
So I couldn't believe, and there was a lot of little kids there.
Kind of like of our audience here.
Yeah. Every 2 seconds, another 3.
Somebody leaves.
Shake that hourglass.
Started with 9.
Yeah, there you go.
But I just thought it was so unusual. But there was people there with their little kids, and the lead singer came out and he was talking at one point, and then at one point he says, "I want to give this next shout out to somebody in my life that's so important to me." And I thought he was going to talk about his wife or something like this. This goes out to Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, and then blaze into a metal song, and I was like, okay, all right. I mean, it was good.
That's an interesting story.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was a very cool night, but I had a fun night. Well, that's coming from an Army guy. So
oh, here we go. Army versus Navy. See, so now we have conflict on this.
Dude, I wish I'd have been in the military because you learn how to shit anywhere and how to sleep anywhere.
And you can blow shit up and play with guns.
Let me explain to you something.
Yeah.
See, in the military,
a Marine.
we make fun to you in front of your face. Civilians, behind your back.
Aha.
So I will constantly make fun of him
because
he's a squid.
He has to.
That's
a rule.
You know, he's only inside today because it's not raining, and I like the rain.
He's calamari.
Kevin, insult Michael.
why? Is it worth it?
You know,
but see, but we take offense if people go after each other.
Oh.
So, I mean, Hill and I will go after each other, but you do it, then you're
That's trouble. Then you guys team up on the guy going, like, if I go after you, he's going to kick my ass. And if I go after him, you kick my ass.
Kind of thing.
Gotcha.
It's like
my brother
a
against my cousin.
white
my
person
against everybody.
Yeah?
like a white person using the N-word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a beef of mine.
Don't use it.
Taboo.
Yeah, but they can do it
can.
among themselves,
That's right.
and that's okay.
if you're
And
one of
it's
them, you can make
encouraged.
fun of them. Come on, I said that already. If you're one of them,
marry one?
you can still make fun of them. So now you want to know, is this on limits or off limits? Could you say anything if you're married to one of them? Yeah, yes, you
Kevin's
can.
had enough.
That's a good question.
Roger, what's your story? Go.
Wow. Okay. So
Go.
another EMS story.
Yes, we like these.
This was good. This is 96, 5, somewhere in there.
Got this pubic hair in my face.
That's all right. It's not mine.
Sorry, that's my fault.
Was that a pubic?
Or maybe
Yeah, it
it
was one of
today.
Red Dog's pubes. I made a wig out of his pubes. You didn't know that, but I'm tired of looking at my bald head, so I figured red pubes are better.
All right.
Yeah. So we get a call for a shooting. I remember sitting at Post 13 Presbyterian Hospital, shooting 16th and North Lottie in Oklahoma City, Charles Steakhouse. And this is early March, and the weather in Oklahoma City is awful. Yeah. So this is like 2 a.m., and it had just started snowing, these huge, fat, wet snowflakes, right? So it's virgin snow everywhere we're going.
Nice.
And the strobes are just bouncing off.
Cool.
The snowflakes. Oh, it was awesome. I mean, they're just, it's like an echo. So we pull up to Charles Steakhouse, guy's outside, and he's shot like 7 times.
Ooh.
Blood just pouring over all this fresh snow.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Smell like
Oh, yeah, no. You could smell the gunpowder, everything. And another guy was shot inside. Turned out it was they were playing dominoes and gambling, and that's why the guy was shot.
Domino, motherfucker.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, anyway, so we wrapped the guy up, taken him to the hospital. The guy lives. He was shot through the testicle. Part of his penis was blown off. I've never seen a guy so shot. I thought it was like a...
over dominoes.
He stayed shot.
Yeah, over dominoes.
Wow.
It was. I thought that he had been shot with like a 12 gauge with double aught. No, it was a 45. The guy emptied the clip, shot the guy 7 times. 1 round went through the wall,
1 in the balls,
and got the next guy in another room, shot him in the chest 1 time. Both of the guys lived. All that.
1 in the balls.
8-10 years go by. I'm working at Surgical Hospital of Oklahoma, and a rep comes in, and he's the cop that was on scene at Charles Steakhouse.
Wow.
I'm like, dude,
do I know you?
Yeah.
Switch careers.
Didn't you used to be an Oklahoma City cop? He's like, yeah. I said, dude, you remember that shooting at Charles? And and it was one of the greatest calls he ever made.
Oh, wow.
Anyway.
Awesome.
Right.
So this is one of the many examples of why you have now developed PTSD.
Oh, no, I know I have.
Yeah. So this is an example. So we're going to help you work through this.
Yeah,
at this
post-traumatic
show.
stress.
The more stories you tell, get it off
Yeah.
your get it off
Yeah,
your
no,
chest.
I need
let the
more help
world
than
know.
that. Seriously.
Well, it's a start.
Yeah. I was watching you guys ever watch the Sean Ryan show? It's a YouTube channel.
No, but I will know.
He has Tier 1 operators on there, SEAL guys, Delta guys. Oh, it's a great show.
Sounds great.
And I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a Delta guy that was on the Somalia, Mogadishu, Black Hawk Down. He was one of those guys. And he talked about that battle, and he's got like 20 years experience as a Delta guy, and he's got post-traumatic stress. And really opened my eyes, like, oh, you know what?
Made you start thinking, like,
yeah,
you know what?
Like, I think I've really got that. It's a thing. That was for pussies. Shake it off. We saw some dead baby, so what?
Deal
That's
with
what we do. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm slowly starting to
realize
that some of my yeah.
Shit.
Anyway, we could get deeper into it.
We will as the show progresses if you decide to remain an expert.
If you do need you do need some therapy, though, I would think.
No, I think so too. Yeah, maybe you can hook me up with somebody, or somebody.
I could help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Right,
Scott, moving to your story.
Oh, so mine is actually a residency story. I don't know, for the viewers out there, I don't know what residency. Well, medical, after medical school, you go to a residency. So I did my residency in family medicine at the University.
Explain it to both people watching still.
Yeah, two people should know this at least. So University of Illinois College of Medicine, where I did my residency in Rockford, Illinois. And my program's director name was Dr. Lee. Oddly enough, oddly enough, right?
Of this show, how it works.
It's
things come around.
So this is this kind of weird story. So I had the dream that I blew up my residency and killed Dr. Lee at one point because we did not get along. And basically, you're never rewarded in residency, and you're up all day and night. So it's not very good for your health. But you're here treating people like, you'll be up for 36 hours, and then in the morning, your job is to, maybe do the circumcisions. That's probably not the best time to do a circumcision, but that's what you do. So I was, up for a long period of time, and I had an argument with Dr. Lee the day before. And the argument was over an injection that I did in somebody's knee of hyaluronic acid, which is a great technique to, it's hyaluronic acid is, I call it joint oil, but, basically it lubricates the joint. Right, it lubes up the joint.
Rooster cone, whatever.
Right. So, yes, it's derived from rooster cone. That's correct. So I had done this injection. The patient, great outcome. So he laid into me about the evidence base and that the orthopedists use this technique because they're making money and find it in germs. I'm like, the outcome was good, and I've been, learning about this type of technique for years because before I was a medical doctor, I was a chiropractor, which is a whole nother conflict that I had with him.
All right.
Because I didn't know anything.
You got a history with this guy.
Yes. Yeah, so we had a history.
You don't know shit.
He didn't like me. You think you know, but you don't know. And that's the truth. We think we know, but we don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
That's correct. So next day comes after he, kind of excoriates me about this case. Next day comes, and we have something called grand rounds. All the medical students, all the residents, and all the attending doctors go to this conference. And they serve you a little bit of coffee and some stale muffins. It starts at 6:30, so you're half asleep. You stayed up the whole night before, and you're kind of dozing. And Dr. Lee is sitting right behind me, like 2 seats behind me. And an orthopedic surgeon happens to be the guest speaker of the day. And he starts talking about jumper's knee, and he starts talking about hyaluronic acid and how good this is for his patients. And I'm eating my muffin. I'm half asleep, the little stale muffin, and I'm looking down and having my coffee. I'm like, just don't turn around. You're bigger than this. Don't look at Dr. Lee. This only bad could come from this. So he's going on. And what I felt like was ad nauseum, like forever. He's going on. It's 10, 15 minutes are going by. He's talking about hyaluronic acid and how good it is. And I broke down. I turned around. And not only did I turn around, I gave him this shit-eating grin like,
told you, bitch.
Told you, fuck stick.
So Dr. Lee only said one thing to me. He said, I need to see you after the grand rounds. Oh, gosh, what is he going to say? And I had about 10 minutes left. And then the guy kept going on about this anyway. And I took, went back, took some time, went back to talk to him. And he just said to me one thing. He just said, you had to turn around, didn't you? And I said, yes, sir. Yes, I did. So it was like that moment where you have to punch the guy in the face. You're going to jail.
Yeah, you just want
where you got the power.
So my jail time was, I did get jail. I got called for the next 3 nights. So that means I'm not sleeping for 3 nights.
Right.
Okay, and that's pretty brutal. So he got the last laugh. But that
you were right.
It was. I don't know if I was right for turning around.
No,
I showed a lack of self-control.
Was Dr. Lee any good?
I'll ask the questions. Was Dr. Lee any good?
No.
That's a good question. So
I guarantee he
Dr.
wasn't.
Lee, you're correct. Dr. Lee had 2 left hands. He couldn't do joint injections.
That's usually how it works.
He was a very nice guy as far as what patients go, but he never practiced in real-world medicine. He only practiced in academia.
It's all theoretical.
An academic doctor.
Yeah.
Well,
Smart guy.
Smart guy, and he just got it. I just saw he got his 30-year award for being, an academic doctor, and that's good. Kudos to him, and I have to thank him for teaching me and teaching me not to turn around.
This reminds me of
I had some of those trainers, and there's guys that talk the talk, and there's guys that walk the walk.
Sure.
Just don't turn around.
Don't let them know they're wrong.
Yeah.
Here's a beef. Maybe I'll get into it next week. But I don't like it when surgeons are dicks and they don't know what they're doing.
Agreed.
That I have no tolerance for that. If you're good and you're a dick, I'm fine with it. You be an asshole to me all you want.
I don't want you to be a dick.
It's uncomfortable. I can deal with it a lot better though.
No, I agree.
Because if there's a guy who's an asshole,
maybe this guy's right,
and he fucking sucks, I'm like, you're an asshole and you suck. Don't yell at me, dick.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like figure out how to do your job first because I already know how to do mine.
Dizzy Dean said it the best. It ain't bragging if it's true. So
right,
you could be, if you're really good at something, and you say
you don't need to brag.
You don't need to brag, but there's people, you know, there's some great people
he
that
who
have.
knows does not say. He who says knows nothing.
Right.
Oh, you want to see me erection boogie?
This reminds me of the advice we learned from Kev Dog or Sea Dog last week, which you can see here, where he said you can be right and miserable. What would you say? Or you can be wrong and happy.
Yeah, something like that.
Something along those lines. All right, good
Erection
story.
boogie.
That's great marriage advice.
Nicely done.
That's where it was coming from.
Fernando, do you have a story lined up for us, perhaps? What is your story, Fernando? Water Dragon Bernal, producer.
I used to sell vacuum cleaners, Kirby vacuum cleaners.
Okay.
To be exact.
I've had a visit from one of them people, yeah.
In the Ozarks, Missouri, Springfield, Missouri.
Beautiful.
And one day I went to this double wide and I handed over a lamp, a kerosene lamp that you would give to the person. And if they took the lamp, that meant they would let you come and demonstrate your Kirby.
Okay.
So he did. I walked in there, and there he was, this old farmer with a shotgun. And he goes, "Come on in, young'un."
No.
And I'm scared shitless. This is out on the boonies.
He's just got his shotgun. Was he cleaning it?
Shotgun,
or he didn't know who you were?
And he says, "Start a sweeping."
Oh.
And I swept the farmer's trailer everywhere. Meanwhile, his wife is sitting there smiling, and he's following me with a shotgun. I was scared shitless. They're going to kill me. They're going to put me out there in some lake. They'll never find me. And then he goes, "All right, young'un, when you go down the road, my son is waiting for you, and he wants to buy one of those Kirby's."
Okay.
Okay. So I packed my shit up. I got on my car. I went down the road, and here's this old country guy waving at me. And I pull over, and he's laughing. Isn't my dad something? Well, it turns out they were fucking rodeo clowns.
What? Rodeo clowns.
They were rodeo clowns. And he did buy the vacuum, pay full price. I didn't give him a trade-in, took all the money, and I left. But I'll never forget that. I thought that was the end of me. Yeah. That's my story.
I thought there was going to be some pie in there, like they baked you an apple pie or something, but no pie.
Rodeo clowns.
No pie.
Rodeo clowns.
In the middle of nowhere, wanted a Kirby vacuum cleaner.
I just noticed that the grains of sand of time have run their course.
Roger's had enough.
On that note.
That's a great story. Should we hear Justin's story before we end?
We should.
Yes, it's only fair.
Yes.
We can hear him now. Red Dog, it's better be a fucking good story.
It's a good
fired.
one. You ready for this?
Just tell us, Justin. We want to hear it.
Ready?
Fired.
All right. When I was little, I was probably like
You were never little.
You were never
8 or 9. I know. I was a fat kid, and I loved going to Chili's. My parents would take me to Chili's all the time, and I get the same thing. I get mozzarella sticks and a bowl of chili, and I mean, I would eat it all.
I'm losing
one
interest.
One time, I'm eating mozzarella sticks, and I'm a fat kid, and I'm just shoving them down my throat, shoving them down my gullet. And as I'm eating, I'm realizing that I'm not swallowing the cheese fully, so it gets stuck in my throat, and I think I'm actually going to die because I'm literally pulling the mozzarella stick.
You can't get it out because it's so melted.
And I can't get it because it's so melted.
It's
and
like
I'm
a
just
big piece of gum.
Cheese. Yeah, and I'm like looking at my mom, and they're like, "What?" And I'm like pulling cheese out of my throat, and I think that was the closest
Let's go to the video.
I ever felt to die.
Yeah, so you can see the link to that. Justin dying when he was 4.
Is that like the clown with the roll in his mouth?
That's the question.
Yes,
sounds like
it was so bad.
He is a clown.
It was literally that much cheese. It was like 3 feet of cheese, and I was just like,
okay.
And I thought I was going to die.
We'll take it. It's a story. We're done.
He was practicing.
It's real.
Oh.
Justin, I'm going to point out now, just before we close, has failed to finish his puzzle once again. He will be punished by Ricky Coolbreeze Grassy next time around. So stay tuned for that. For the 2 people still watching in Podunk, Arkansas, or Wewoke, Oklahoma, wherever you are, we'd like to thank our new guest, Scott Lee, MD Michael. Thank you very much for being a good sport.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank the 2 other experts. Fernando's also an expert this time around, but he is our producer. Thanks to producer Fernando. Great job, Fernando.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thanks for standing in. RMFJ is an expert. Thank you, Roger. Thank you, Sea-Dog.
Absolutely.
Thanks our special guest, and both of you still watching and viewing our shows. Thanks both of you guys for hanging in there for
Libby making an appearance.
Yes, and to Livy for making an appearance. Good whenever, wherever you are.
Thank you,
Bryce
Livy.
Brizzle
Thank you,
McKnight.
Mom.
This is I'll Ask the Questions. Good whenever,